guys, this is Author Delisha, and welcome to my channel. If you are new, please feel free to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you be notified every time there is a new upload. And today, you guys, it's about that time. It is time for me to do yet another story time. I have so many stories that I could tell y'all right now, but one that kind of sticks to mind is based on that molestation story time. If y'all have seen that one, because that one got so many views. Thank you guys for the ones that have supported me, the ones that have watched that story time, that took the time out to like that video, and the ones that took the time out to actually comment down below. I really greatly appreciate it. I will link that video somewhere up here. It'll pop up, or down below in the description box. So if you have not seen that video, make sure to check it out. Give me a like and tell me what you think about it. So I would not say that this is basically a part 2 of that video, but it does have to do with the same person, the same situation. If you are familiar with that, if you are not, you may want to watch that video first and then come back to watch this one so you can kind of get a better understanding of how it all got started, who my molester was, and what happened with that whole scenario and that whole situation. So we're going to hop right into it. Okay, first off, I'm going to let y'all know like the background of how it started. I was definitely way younger, probably around maybe 11 or 12 when this situation had went on. We were staying in a house that was kind of like in the countryside that we had gotten built from ground up. So it was pretty much me, my sister, my brother, and both of my parents, because I remind y'all, they was married for like 17 years before the initial separation and divorce. So at this time, they were still together. I think what happened was a pipe had actually bursted under the house. Don't know if it was a sewer pipe or a sink pipe. Whatever it was, the pipe had busted. My dad was pretty much handy dandy. As I said previously before, he knew how to fix a lot of things. So like the regular family, sometimes they would have to call plumbers and mechanics and all this stuff, but my dad hardly ever was one of those people where he had to call for somebody else to fix something, because he pretty much knew how to fix it himself. So anyway, for some particular reason that day, he wanted me to go with him underneath the house and to help him fix whatever the situation was. Y'all, don't ask me why he did not ask my mom to go under there with him under that house. I don't know. It may have been some original scheme or some original plan that he already had in his head that he was thinking of doing, y'all. I don't know, because y'all know how molesters, pedophiles, rapists, whatever, kind of have plots up in their head of something that they're trying to accomplish or something that they're actually trying to do. And I thought to myself, that was the first thing that came to my mind, like, why he want me to go into the house with him? Like, why didn't he ask mama, you know? But see, that's what I was thinking, but it's not what I said, because I was a very respectful child. So somebody tell me, my parents tell me to do something, I pretty much do it. I wasn't one of the ones that try to be mouthy or whatever. So I know he had grabbed some tools, some new piping or whatever it was that he needed to fix it. And the way that our house was set up, it was a deck that was attached onto the house, because we had like a front door area and we didn't have a back door, we had a side door. So that's where the deck was going all the way around. So you had to actually go under the deck area, and the bottom of the house was bricked in. So you had to go under the deck, and it was a little slit that he created that wasn't bricked in, that had like a door that was there that he would open up, and that's how we was able to get underneath the house. So I remember going under there, and it was just like dirt, sand, you know, grass, whatever, and of course the piping that was underneath the house. So we went under there. He found the pipe that needed to be taken off. I think water was shooting out of it. It might have been stopped up, clogged. I'm not sure of that situation. Okay, so he figured out, I guess, one of the tools that he needed, he didn't have with him, which was probably either on his trunk in his toolbox, or it either was in the barn, because we had like a barn that he built, and it was like a 3-part barn. And so around that time is when he was like, you know, dang, I don't have the tool, you know, that I needed, which is weird. So he looked at me, and for some reason he grabbed me and put me on top of him. I'm looking like, what is he doing? So we sitting there looking at one another in the eyes, and I'm thinking to myself, this is weird. Like, he had never done nothing like that before. Like, what is he trying to do? Like, why is he putting me on top of him? Okay, so in the midst of him getting ready to do whatever he was trying to do, I don't know if he was gonna try to pull my clothes down. I don't know if he was gonna try to kiss me or y'all. I don't know, but there was so many thoughts going on in my mind, and I could feel like where he was thinking, what he was thinking, or what he was trying to do. So before he even had the chance to do anything, there was like these little vent areas that was inside of the brick that was going around just a certain amount of centimeters within each brick, the venting area inside of the brick area. So next thing I know, I hear my mom. She was calling my father's name. She was like, now what did you say it was that you needed me to bring you? And so real quick, he threw me on the side of him or whatever. And I just kind of, got thrown in the dirt area. Like, the world? So I seen my mom. I could see her through the little cracks of the vent, like rubbing her eyes, like, did I just see what I thought I seen? Like, what in the world? And she's rubbing her eyes, like, did I see that, or am I imagining that I seen that? Like, I could tell that that's what she was thinking. And she was asking him, like, what tool did you tell me to get? And he was like, he was mad with her, like he was frustrated. Like, oh, I told you to go get me the flathead screwdriver or whatever. That's kind of how he yelled it out back at her. And she was like, oh, okay. She was just kind of like speechless. Like, did I just see my daughter on him or him throw my daughter off of him or whatever? She was kind of like baffled. So around that time is when she went under there and she threw the screwdriver in the little slit hole of whatever it was, that he needed. He grabbed it and he had me to hang him the piping for him to put up there to change it out. So I had already got ready to leave out of the little slit area from underneath the house and under the deck area. So as soon as I got out, my mom was standing there. She was looking at me with her hands crossed like this, patting her foot. I could see her thinking. I could see the wheels turning like she about to ask me. She about to ask me. Finally, she finally sees it for herself because this wasn't the first time that she actually was aware because she was told back when I was younger, around 3-ish, 4-ish, but she never caught it. She never witnessed. So I'm like, so now maybe she'll kick him out. Maybe she'll know that it's true, that I'm not making up anything, that she know I wasn't no liar. So I was just thinking, I was just sitting there like a little, you know how you feel guilty, but you know you're not guilty because you know that it's not nothing that you did or that you had control over. So that's how I was looking like, okay, she's about to ask me. So finally, we went in the inside of the house, and she called me back there in the room, but she closed the door because she knew my dad was going to still be outside. And she was like, "Let me ask you a question." And I was like, "Yeah." She said, did your dad put you on top of him?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." And she was like, "What was he doing? Or what was he trying to do?" Before I asked him what tool was it that he told me to go get. And I looked at her and I said, "I don't know. I don't know what he was trying to do." Like, by the time he put me on top of him, that was when you looked underneath the house and asked him what tool it was that he told you to go get. I was like, so he didn't initially do anything to me other than put me on top of him. She was like, mm-hmm. But she looked like she was thinking, like her feelings was hurt. And more so, not that she was mad at me, but probably mad at him and couldn't control it maybe until she got the time to talk to him. Because the way that our family operated is I never ever heard my parents fuss and argue. Like, ever since I was young, I never witnessed them fuss. I never witnessed them fight. Other than that one time where I told y'all about that story time where I came home and that door had a big old hole in it, but I still wasn't there to witness the actual action of it happening. It was more so it happened, I seen the hole, and I'm just like, well, damn. Okay, but y'all, that was in a whole nother story time. So I will link that one down below as well. But anyway, that one had to do with my parents divorcing. So I told her that, and then she was just like, okay. So I left out the room, and that's pretty much how that story time pretty much took place. And I remember, if you fast forward a little bit, within um, that same day, I remember my dad going in the bedroom where she was at. I don't know if she was crying. I don't know what went on because I know I left out of there after that. And I just remember going in the kitchen, probably getting me something to eat. And then that's when my dad came in the house, and he went in the back where she was at. And that's where they probably initially had the conversation on what she thought she seen, what she actually did see. And around that time, he might have denied it, and she probably went along with it, pretending that she believed him. Maybe because she was coming to realization that he really was doing what I had initially said he was doing in the first place, but she probably wasn't ready to let him go or to divorce him or whatever for her own daughter's sake. And because they were still together for a little while longer before the initial separation and divorce took place. But y'all, that is the end of that story time. It wasn't as long as the rest of the story times, but it is bits and pieces of different things that I remember throughout those years, or that time span of 3 and 4 all the way to around 11, 12 years of age. If you did enjoy this story time, you guys, like, love, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. I will see y'all next time. Goodbye.